if you could only make one superstar hire, who would it be?
Ooh, agency side or brand side?
Go your way with it. Because I'll just go another way with it if you want.
Okay, I think this is a core channel expert, meaning
Meta,
an incredible meta buyer. Or if you're on TikTok, an incredible TikTok. Like, if you have
incredible TikTok content creator.
If you have any alpha in content creation or deployment of that content from a monetization of ads, go, dude. Pay what you need. Get that. That's a growth lever. That's a major growth lever. It's like you have a LeBron or you have a Kobe on the team. What do you need around to make that the best?
All you need is role players around those guys.
Go until we have to figure it out. We'll figure it out once we get there.
Bart, what do you think? One superstar hire, who would it be?
I think.
At some point, Dad Gang will probably hire somebody. I'm guessing.
No, I would go media buyer route also.
Really?
But like I've got a few buddies that are like unicorns in the space where they're very smart around creative.
Yeah.
Like what does well,
creative strategies,
and not just button pushers. So finding somebody that is great at, just the ads manager itself, but then somebody that understands good creative. Yeah. And I found a couple guys that are like a good blend of that. And
alpha meta media buyer is that now. They're not just a media buyer now. Like we've got a really good one at Royo, and I'm like, oh, he's our creative strategist and our media buyer.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other person is just like creative at scale too. Because we work with one guy who's practically hired because we just use him all the time. But like somebody that can crank out and edit video and just make content
and just can
nonstop.
He's a one-stop shop for it. He can play ISO on that. I used to say this a lot in the agency. Like, can that person play ISO on a client?
Yeah.
Or do they need support? Can that person play ISO on cranking out content? That's pretty valuable at a stage where you're trying to stay lean.
Yeah, because we're such a brand that like just makes new creative so often. We're like hold ourselves to like posting every day and new creative for email and the site and the app. But it's like sometimes you do feel this like constraint of like, damn, we like the funnel isn't filled with enough new content. So we go run out and I make it. But but at the same time, it's like, just knowing that that's always showing up, I think is super important.
I think the next hire would be, did you give yours?
I didn't give mine.
Okay, what's yours?
One superstar is the question. I'm thinking of the biggest alphas I know in each category. I'm going to stick with marketing here because I think, saying, oh, I would hire a superstar like CEO or operator is a little bit cheating here. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, a superstar all-rounder, great, yeah. But like, I'm assuming
but that's your gut answer.
I'm assuming I'm the operator and I have to hire one other superstar.
That's the right decision.
I have such a core competency of marketing that I would want to, if I were the operator, I'd essentially want to operate as a CMO. So I would either hire like a really good like logistics and finance person, or if I was gonna do that part, I would. So that's who I would hire if it were me. That's my answer. If it was a marketing hire and that's the question, then I would say, thinking about the biggest alphas I know in every category, I think I would hire a content creator who's a superstar. Because so there's another podcast we listen to. I listen to it, My First Million. Friend of the pod via a friend of Nick, I will say. Sean tells a story on there all the time about how one of his early interns is a young man named Stephen Bartlett. And I don't know if it was an intern or just a guy who worked for him. And like, think about like a superstar hire. I'm like, that is one.
Yeah, unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before he was Stephen Bartlett. You know what I mean? And so it's like, if I could find someone who I'm like, oh, he's got it. He is an incredible content creator. He's charismatic. And even if there's just even some signal of that on the platforms, I think that's pretty huge. And it would be hard to keep them long-term, I think. So you'd really have to incentivize them correctly. You'd probably have to give them points in the company.
Yeah.
But it might be worth it. Might be worth it. Especially if it was a brand where I couldn't be that. Like, I'm probably conceited enough to think I could be that. But if it was like a beauty brand and it had to be a girl or whatever, that it's probably that.
That's a face. That's like a
face of the company.
It's a face.
If I couldn't be the face of the company, I would hire a face of the company and give them points.